In this video, I will show you how to draw this flower pot using watercolor brushes from Urban Art Guidebook. Link to the brushes is in the description box. And you will find more tutorials in this playlist, so go watch those also. First, I will import the canvas and I will use the vintage texture. So I delete the rest of them and then I will crop down the canvas size to 2500 by 2500 pixels. So we have a lovely size square to work on. For the sketching part, I will use a little time saver. I will go to the stamp section where the plants are and stamp this small plant for, and that will be the guide for me. You can change the size on the stamp also. Lower the opacity on the layer and let's start drawing. I will make a new layer on top of this sketch layer, and at first I will use the wet bandit brush, and we're gonna need 3 colors in the main palette. Here they are, and we will go from there. So with the brown color I will just color in the flower pot with the wet bandit brush, and I will leave little light spaces on the right side so that will look like the sun is shining on little highlights from the sun. Then on a new layer with the green color, I will use the droplet splash brush, my favorite brush for the greenery. I am starting with brush size on 4% size and color in the main area. Also add some hanging leaves, and then I change the size to 2% and add more detailed leaves here and there. And I will repeat this process on the same layer, changing between 4 and 2% size, and I will also change the color of the same green to darker or lighter. I will add some darker spaces and some lighter spaces, and at the end I will use a splatter watercolor stamp and add some splatters. Next, on a new layer with the pink color, the same droplet splash that we used for the greenery, I will draw flowers. So I want them to form a little uneven circle, and then I will lower the brush size to 2%, darken the pink to add some darker spots on the flower, and then with lighter pink color I will add some highlights on the flower and also add some splatters at the end by using the splatter stamp. Now we will work on a pot a little bit more. First, on a new layer I will use the wet bandit brush, darken the brown color and focus mostly on darkening the left side of the pot. And then using the smudge body, I will smudge out the harsh lines. And then I will add even darker brown and smudge that out also. And add a bit of yellow to add a nice sunlight color, also smudge. And merge the pot layers together. Then make a new layer, change to multiply, and I will use a watercolor stamp. Add little more of the watercolor texture on the pot. And also I will add some splatters with the stamp, and then I click on the layer where the flower pot is, and I click select at the bottom, I click invert, and then on the stamp layer I click clear, and now we have the stamp only where it needs to be. And merge the layers together. Then I make a new layer. I will do that as clipping mask and add some lighter splatter on the pot and merge the layers together. Then I wanted to make the pot look more loose, so I decided to use the smudge fudge or streaky rascal brush and just add some streaky lines with the smudging tool. And I switched to the same brushes but for the drawing, and add some brush strokes around the pot with the brown color. Then I will make the brown color a bit lighter, and with wet bandit brush draw a shadow from the pot, and I want to smudge them together, the shadow and the pot, by using the smudge fudge and streaky rascal brush. Let's add watercolor background. Make a new layer at the bottom, choose a light yellowish color and choose any of the rectangle stamps and add a stamp behind the flower pot. Resize and rotate however you like. Now it is time for some accents, so I will make a new layer on top, then click on the brown color and on harmony, and you will see this color circle and choose a complementary color that is shown for the brown. And with the creamy pencil brush I will add some scribbly lines on the left side of the pot and also around the drawing somewhere. And the same I will do with the pink color and the green color. For the pink, this will be this light blue color, and I will add some scribbles in the greenery and also on the pot. At the end I will also add some scribbles around the drawing with the pink and the green from the palette. I made a new multiply layer, and using the brown and the wet bandit brush I am adding some shadow under the greenery on the flower pot. I decided to add a little more texture things, accents. I would make a new layer on top. I didn't do it now, but the new layer on top. And with the droplet splash brush add some fallen leaves on the ground, and then with checkers and half-tone texture brushes add some interesting accents here and there using the colors from the palette and also white color. For all this to come together, I will add a watercolor overlay from the inky overlay folder on top of all the drawing layers, and change the layer mode to overlay. Play around with opacity and hue to get the results you like. I decided to also duplicate one of the paper textures to make this even more vintage looking paper, and then I forget about the sunshine, so make a new layer, change to add, and with light color add some last splatters here and there. And we have finished the flower pot. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and thank you so much if you already got the Urban Art Kit brush pack.